welcome to Mr. Akhil Kothari. He is the youngest AFC A license coach in our country, and he has joined us here on a very special Sunday afternoon to discuss more about Indian football, about grassroots development, and also on Mumbai football in general. A very warm welcome to you, sir. I hope you are doing well and staying safe.
Hi Aditya, hi Shiva. Thank you for having me on the show, and I'm looking forward to it.
Great, great. Same here, sir.
Yeah.
Uh, so, to begin this interview, we have prepared a series of questions for you, and we'll be trying to ask them throughout the interview. So, without wasting any time, let's get into action. Sir, my first question to you is: we all are fascinated to know more about your journey. So, could you please tell us about your journey in a nutshell?
Yes. For me, football started in my school because I don't come from a sports background, and my parents always supported and encouraged me to do sports. I was lucky, I went to a good school, St. Mary's SSC in Mascon, who always encourage kids to take up sports. And it was part of their, it was very important aspect, you know that I played multiple sports in my school playing days. And right, I was part of the school team right from under 8 to under 16 uh, category. But my major passion was football. And during my under 16 playing days, I was fortunate to meet Sir Adit Kenkre, the founder of Kenkre Football Club, who was the opponent school coach. And I met him after the game. And and that's how I joined Kenkre Football Club. And joined them in the under 16 category, and made my way up to the first team, and played for a period of 4 years. And due to my knee injury, I couldn't continue playing.
Right, right. It is really fascinating to know that your journey came through one of the institutions as far as Mumbai football is concerned, that is Kenkre Football Club, and you started your journey from a place like Kenkre FC. Could you tell us more about how did you enter into coaching and what made you choose coaching?
See, like I mentioned, I had a knee injury, so I still remember that I was doing my knee rehab training at one of the Kinkre Academy centers, that is Don Bosco Matunga, where the Kinkre Academy children train in the evening. And I used to spend some time in the evening, after my training, and with the children, the academy kids. And I met Mr. Joshua, who is the current CEO of Kingsley Football Club, and an elderly well-wisher. And they saw me, that I was good with the kids, and they said, why don't you take up coaching? And I thought about it initially, and I started with 2 days of coaching at one of the Kinkre Academy centers in Badar, with training the 6 years old children out there. And I was enjoying my time as a coach, as a part-time coach, because of my first team commitments. And after a few months, I met Joshua, and I met Floyd Pinto, who was the former head coach at Kingres. And they encouraged me to take up, pursue my licenses. And that's how I got into coaching initially. And then I was very lucky that I had good people around me at Kinkres. That was Sir Kinkre himself, Joshua, Floyd. And then I applied for the D license course at Cooperage in the year 2014. And that course changed the way I looked at football. And And then after completing the D license, I assisted Floyd for a few months, and Floyd joining AIFF, and then me taking over as the head coach of the under 17 team. We had a very good season then, and we had a in the local league, that is Mumbai District Football Association League, and then I went on to coach the under 19 team, and then made my way to the first team as an assistant coach in the second division I League, and that year we qualified for the final round of the second division I League. At Kenkres, I had I trained children from 6 years old to the first team, and had a very good association with Kenkres for almost 9 years before joining Ironborn Football Club in 2018, which is a newly formed club which plays in the Youth I League and the MDFA local league. I joined Ironborn as head of Grassroot Development and youth team coach. And since Ironborn was altogether a new challenge for me, where we had to start things from fresh. But I was lucky again, I had good people like Mrs. Suzanne, who always guided, supported, encouraged me to try new things and do more. It's very, very important that, in coaching, you need good people around you. And I think I was very lucky that at both the clubs I've been associated, I have got that support.
That's really wonderful to know. And one more striking point about your journey, which you have mentioned so far, is that you have come through institutions which provide a platform for young talent, especially in the city of Mumbai, to showcase their abilities and give them opportunities right from the district level to the state level. Moving forward, sir, you have already completed your AFC A license diploma, and you are a AFC A license holder. And what's your next step from here? What are your future ambitions?
See, AFC A license is not an easy task, as it has series of tests to be completed, right from theory exams to practical exams to presentations to group work, individual work, match analysis. And AFC A license now has been structured into three modules over a period of 6 months, and there are assignments which you need to complete between the modules. And it's just like coaching licenses have become like MBA exams, where series of tests need to be completed, and you need to do well in all and pass. And you know uh, I since I'm an A license coach, I'm looking for new opportunity for professional growth. But since COVID has things have slowed down, but I'm positive, things would change, and I'm waiting for the right opportunity where I will be able to contribute.
True, true. Uh, Also, as you mentioned, you were in Kenkre, you were the head coach, and in Ironborn you had a slightly different role with the head of grassroots. So, what is the major difference in between both the roles, and what are the challenges you face in your day-to-day job as far as both the roles are concerned?
See, like at Kinkres, like I mentioned before, I trained children from 6 years old to the first team. you know so I used to spend my mornings training one team and evening training the another team. I wanted to day in day out coach children. When I became the full-time coach at Kinkers, I was day in day out working as a coach, because as a young coach it's important that you be in a competitive environment to become better. At Ironborn, being a head of grassroots and youth team coach, head of grassroots, um, I was structuring a program for the promoters for their 4 schools, which had almost around 5,000, 6,000 children. So I was, creating a plan for them, in terms of uh, about the grassroots, about the children in the school and how they need to train and what are the types of uh, competitions that we could participate in, or if and what are the types of opportunities that we could create for the young boys and girls. So that was the role all about at Ironborn. And of course, I was training the youth team, the under 14 youth team. Uh,
Right,
yeah. So that is how I went about.
right, right. Uh, Also, it brings me to my next question. I mean, we see nowadays, there are so many coaches in our country, in different states around the country, who aspire to, climb the coaching ladder, who want to do the different licenses available. So, what is, why it is important, and why it is important for the coaches to complete their licenses? Can you shed some light on that?
See, like you mentioned, licenses are important. You know, it will help you to upgrade yourself, and it will only make you better. Also, in licenses, you meet a lot of people from coming from different states, a lot of former professional players, where there's a lot of knowledge sharing which happens. Like in my licenses, I met a lot of from former professional players as well, and there is so much to learn from them and so much to learn from their experience as players, who has played at the highest level. And that is the best opportunity. You can pick up so many points from them, which will help you in your day-to-day coaching, dealing with players. So that is why it's very very important that coaches uh, go and do their licenses, and it will only get make them better. And that
Right,
is
right.
one way forward that Indian football can grow. Better coaches.
Yes. And we need them in, I feel, in big quantity, in huge quantity, especially as far as grassroots are concerned. More coaches holding licenses will only help the game develop and shape better in our country. Uh, Moving forward, sir, this brings me to my next question. That is, what is your take on the current situation of Indian football, also Mumbai football in general, from a coach's perspective? Like, what do you feel, and what's your take on how the things are happening at the moment?
See, as a young coach, the situation we are in is quite demotivating because of very few competitions happening due to the pandemic. But also, when I started my coaching, the opportunities out then was quite grim. And you know me being motivated to take up coaching, me being motivated to do my licenses, as I see a lot more opportunities grow. And this would help the entire Indian football ecosystem. you know Opportunities is something that which will help the current situation.
Right. You mean all the stakeholders concerned with Indian football, right from coaches to players, everyone.
Yes.
Giving them more opportunities will be the step forward in the right direction.
Yes, every stakeholder plays a very important role, and their commitment and their sincerity is very, very important. And I think that is one of the way I think Indian football can grow.
True, very true, sir. Uh, Now moving forward, this is one more question from a coach's point of view, or you can say from a coach's perspective. We have seen that in our country, especially if you take into consideration the top flight football, that is ISL or I League, we have seen foreign coaches holding key positions in various clubs. And so, how do you feel this scenario can be changed, and what steps would you like to see, to make sure that this scenario is changed? Because I'm pretty sure, like you, there are many more coaches, who are talented enough, but at the moment, unfortunately, or for whatever reason it may be, they are not getting that platform, to showcase their abilities.
See, there is no doubt some of the Indian coaches can manage key positions, but in world football, it is common that foreign coaches are holding key positions. Uh, there are a lot foreign experienced coaches in India, and Indian assistants can benefit to learn from them. Uh, when we get an opportunity, we should make the best use of it, take up the responsibility, and perform. And it is up to us, to raise our level of professionalism, work ethic, and get better.
Right. Uh, Also, as far as grassroots development is concerned, we have seen there has been so much emphasis on this term in football recently in last decade or so, grassroots development. Uh, could you give us your a point of view on grassroots development happening in our country and especially as far as Mumbai football or Maharashtra football is concerned? And what steps we could take to further improve it, further polish it, so that we could reap the benefits of the grassroots development and it could show the results on the international stage.
See, grassroots is something which starts at home, and parents play a very key role in the development. We have changed over the years. We have not been the same. We have changed over the years, and if you see Mumbai football, for example, for Mumbai football, MSSA, that is Mumbai School Sports Association, has around 250 schools playing in their inter-school competition. You know, boys and girls, right from under 8 to under 16. MDFA has around 250 teams playing in their youth league. AIFF introducing the baby league concept. There are a lot more opportunities for boys and girls, which was not the case during my playing days. It is very important, that we keep creating these opportunities for both boys and girls at across age groups. And now you see a lot more opportunities for players. And now you see a lot more promise shown from girls, which is going to help in grassroots development in the country, and it's a positive sign.
Right, indeed. And we hope that this kind of revolution in Indian football continues. There are more opportunities, more avenues open at the grassroots level so that we can develop further. Uh, you know, we have seen that the Indian domestic structure has evolved and it has, undergone multitude changes over the years. And so, what have you made up of these changes and improvements which have come into our domestic football structure? And do you feel that the current structure it is enough for our homegrown footballers? And what more changes and improvements can be done to make sure that we can get the necessary results on the international stage?
See, like I mentioned, opportunities, not only in grassroots but also in youths and senior is important. More competitions, uh, longer leagues, with more number of games, local leagues, state leagues, across age group, boys and girls, international tournament exposures. I think these are the few things, which would definitely help in players' growth, uh, and it is going to help the country as well.
Right. We hope for the same.
Yeah.
Now, this is a huge concerning question. We have seen that there is footballing talent in most of the states of our country. In fact, all the states of the country. But there are only few states which organize and properly conduct their state leagues. And we have seen that majority of big states having a huge number of population are lacking behind in this aspect, including Maharashtra. So, what are the factors that have helped that are held that are the reasons for this systematic I would say failure, or you can put it as what are the reasons for we not being able to conduct these leagues? And how what are the changes you would like to see as far as the state leagues are concerned, so that it can become a budding ground for the local talent?
See, Maharashtra is one of the larger states, and I would speak about the situation in Mumbai. It's disproportionate in Mumbai that we have two full-size grounds and around 350 teams playing in Mumbai. These two full-size ground hold senior team games, youth team games, women competitions. But Mr. Aditya Thackeray, the president of the Mumbai Football Association, is helping the association in getting more grounds for them to conduct their league games smoothly. Like you mentioned in your question, that budding talents. Of course, there are talented players across the country, without a doubt. Where I see in Mumbai is that there is no, at the moment, there is no professional club playing in the I League and the second division I League, which will promote the local talent at a national platform. So, and now a lot of players, from the state are moving out for opportunities. But post COVID, things would change. I'm sure things would change, and I hope that there'll be a club from Mumbai and Maharashtra playing in the I League or Second Division I League, which will help in promoting a lot more local players, performing at a national platform.
Right, right. And we also hope this kind of revolution happens in Mumbai football, as far as the infrastructure is concerned, and also a club from Mumbai representing in I League or I League second division. Uh, Moving forward, sir, I would like to ask you that uh, you know to complete the licenses, and to move up the ladder, uh, you definitely, the coaches, they need to do a lot of groundwork, they need to do a lot of hard work, and they need to get experience between the licenses as they progress up in the ladder. uh, but uh, but I have also heard in many places, and we have seen that sometimes there is this financial aspect, which does not allow the coach to involve himself in a particular license course. So do you feel this is a factor which is holding back our Indian coaches, because the financial cost incurred for this license is way too much? Or do you feel it can be managed? Or what's your take on this, and what can be done, to improve the entire situation?
See, like MBA being done from different institutions have different fee structures at different levels, and India being a diverse country, this situation could happen, and but I'm sure in special cases the federation could step in to help. And now AIFF has started the DNC certificate in regional languages, which was not the case earlier. It was only in English. Now they have started in regional languages. This could help a lot more coaches, and it's going to be encouraging more and more coaches to take up coaching.
Yeah, and we hope for the same, that like in all the aspects, you can say that we are a growing nation as far as football is concerned. So for all the stakeholders, like players, like coaches, opportunities and platforms and avenues need to be opened up, so that we all can grow organically and achieve the common goal of
Correct.
seeing our nation develop into a strong footballing nation.
Yes, of course.
Moving forward, sir, I had a couple of more questions for you. And uh, due to this COVID scenario, we have seen that the youth I leagues, the under 13, under 15, and under 18 I leagues, they have not taken place for almost 2 years. And so this has definitely been a major roadblock, for our young talents and upcoming players. across the different states in the country. So, what could be the solution, to tackle this issue? Because next year, if you see on the hindsight, we are going to have the under 17 Girls World Cup in our country. So do you think how do you tackle this issue in terms of what could be the solutions to this problem?
See the players playing in the youth I league or any uh, tournament wherever the minors are concerned, you know, safety of players is important until the situation is under control, because we cannot take the risk. And I think till then we just need to be patient. We just cannot take any other step, because the player's safety is utmost priority at.
Yes, it's like a catch 22 situation, It's bit of unfortunate also because of the COVID situation emerging and overlapping the Youth I League seasons. And we hope that things improve fast so that our players also can get that opportunity once again, which they have been waiting for such a long time.
Yes, of course.
Uh,
Even we as coaches are waiting for that opportunity, for things to get back to normal. Things to be under control, and we can start things.
sure, sure, yes. Uh, Now, coming back now to the national leagues of our country, we have seen that ISL currently is having 11 clubs, and they play round robin, and every club plays 20 games, uh, which is definitely, even you will agree to with this point, is that it is fairly less in terms of the number of matches clubs across the world play, and our domestic calendar is too short. So, what could be done, to improve our domestic season, so that this scenario changes and our players are also playing for a longer time throughout the year.
See, like we have been discussing about domestic football, and you know about the opportunities. Major tournaments, longer leagues. You know, local leagues, state leagues. They need to be stronger. The local leagues should have at least 20 games a season. you know because the more number of games you play, the better you're going to be. So at least 20 games in the local league and a few cup tournaments over a period of 9-10 months is definitely going to help the players, as well as the entire ecosystem would change.
Yes, yes, yes. Also, would you agree to this thing that recently I read that ISL is planning to start its reserve league? It's going to be an under 21 league. So players, who do not get enough game time, who are always on the bench, they will be getting an opportunity, to play more. So do you think this kind of initiative should be applied at I League and I League second division levels too?
See, like you mentioned, sitting on the bench, it's a good initiative, to not to be getting more playing time and regular playing time, you know, because regularly for these young players, especially these under 21, they need playing time to get better, and the more playing time they get, it's going to help them into making their step to the first team.
Right, right, true. Uh, so, you know, according to you, what's your take? Where are we currently standing as a footballing nation? How far have we reached? And to reach to the next level, what are the changes we need to see? What are the things we need to see that happen so that, we can accelerate this process and we can reach to that level faster? So, what are the suggestions? So, what are the things you would like to see taking place in the coming years so that the development becomes faster and we can see the results soon.
See, India is progressing, you know, and if you see the national team at the moment, there are a lot more youngsters, playing and performing at an international level. That clearly says that we are progressing. Like the likes of Suresh, the likes of Apuya, the likes of Glenn Martins have shown that. And that, it's very very important, to create opportunities for players to play. When we create these opportunities, definitely things are going to improve. And not only the players, but it's also going to help the coaches as well, because even the coaches need opportunity, even the coaches need that match exposure. So it's going to, and the entire Indian football ecosystem would change, you know
Right, right. This is a question, which is very dear to me, because we look up to so many players as football fans, we follow them, we try to play like them, we idolize them. So for all the Indian football fans, and for all the fans who will watch this later, could you tell us few upcoming talents from the Mumbai arena or from Maharashtra or from Indian football in general, which we need to keep an eye on?
See, there are a lot of talents in Mumbai. I have seen, and if you Bryce Miranda, who has played at Churchill, is someone looks promising to me. And of course, you may Apuya is one in the Indian football, a youngster.
Right,
So these
right.
are the two players, I think they are promising, and they've been consistent in their performances throughout the I League and ISL season wherever they played.
True, true, true.
So the question I want to ask is that you mentioned you were a football player before you became a football coach. So what were the things you did as a football player now different because of the COVID situation in the country? Like because now young players are not getting much playing time because of the restriction caused due to the COVID. So how will that impact the situations for the young players?
See, like I mentioned, the safety of players is important, and till the situation is under control, we cannot take the risk, you know, and we just have to be patient, because these are young players. You don't want to take the risk with them.
So that brings us to the end of a wonderful interview with Mr. Akhil Kothari. And before we let you go, sir, we would like to wish you all the very best, in your journey as a professional football coach in of a club from Mumbai in I League or I League second division soon. That would be like icing on the cake for all the fans of Indian football in general to see an Indian head coach leading the pack. So thank you very much once again, sir, for your valuable time, and I hope you enjoyed this conversation with Team of Sports Octane.
Yeah, thank you, Aditya, thank you, Shiva, and thank you, Sports Often. Uh, and best wishes to Sports Often, and continue, promoting the sport, because we need more and more people like y'all coming up and helping the sport to grow in the country. So thank you once again.
Yes, thank you very much, sir, for your kind and valuable support and words. So before we close this interview, for all the Sports Octane followers and viewers who will see this video once we upload it, first of all, I would like to thank you for your continued support and patience with the entire team of Sports Octane. And we hope you like this interview with the young, promising AFC licensed coach, Mr. Akhil Kothari, and we hope to bring to you many more such stories and fascinating interviews in the near future. So, thank you very much, guys. Thank you once again, and hope to see you all again. Yes.
Thank you.